Hi guys, I'm Yusuke from karatedojo waKu. Last week on our channel, we've interviewed the president of JKA Australia about their secrets of their kata. This video is going to be a Kumite version of it, so let's check it out. Moving on to Kumite now. I know JKA Kumite and the WKF, the one we're going to see in the Olympics, is different, and the rules are different too. So what they focus on is, as a premise, they're different. But what do you guys focus the most on for Kumite?
Kumite, I used to participate in WKF tournaments.
Oh, really?
When I was a lot, yeah, when I was
both of
a
them.
lot younger. Both of them, yeah. Hi. So I started with.
I would love to hear the difference too that you felt.
Yes. So it's interesting because they're both quite valuable. But I noticed that when I transferred to JKA, as a more traditional option, I noticed that in Kumite there's a lot of focus on finding the right timing and more focus on distance as opposed to WKF karate. Hi.
Oh, that's interesting.
So in Kumite, I believe that in JKA it's all about the timing to get the right gap. So as soon as you see a gap in the space in time, you make the movement as soon as you can, but as long as it's in the shortest course possible. I believe that's JKA karate, as opposed to WKF where I see that there's timing of course, but distance isn't as focused, I believe, compared to JKA.
Sorry, I'm not sure about the exact Kumite rules for JKA. I think when you score once, ippon, and then it's over, right? Is that correct?
If that ippon essentially damages your opponent, if it would have damaged your opponent to a great extent. However, if the technique isn't that damaging, it would be half a point awarded until you reach the ippon. Hi.
Okay. So it's either two half points or one full ippon.
One full point.
Okay.
There have been a few, like in the likes of Naka Sensei and a few other senseis who have scored, Kokuban Sensei at one point as well, that they have scored the ippon, but usually
usually
JK,
it's half point.
Usually it would be half a point, but if you can do the ippon, that would be a fantastic technique.
What kind of scenario would be a ippon? I'm not really sure about the difference so far. But.
From what I've seen and from what I've been told, an ippon essentially is when your opponent falls to the ground. That would be an ippon, and I guess if your opponent is still stable but has actually gone off balance, I feel would be an ippon, essentially a devastating blow to your opponent. I've seen it a couple of times, not only on YouTube, but also in person when attending and competing in JKA tournaments.
I see. Oh, that's wonderful. So, distance, right. I guess in WKF, it's points, and whoever gets 8 points wins, I guess.
Yes.
So, I can see how distance would be a more crucial point for JKA.
Yes.
Because if you miss it and you get
miss,
scored,
that's right.
You just have one half point left, right? So that's
exactly
a huge risk you're taking.
And if you put that in reality, if your opponent was quite devastating, your life would have ended.
Right, gone. I see.
So WKF, if there was a highlight in WKF Kumite, I believe it's speed. It was always about speed factor. Whether or not the blow may have been devastating, that could be arguable. But essentially, it would be speed in WKF that would get you to the top.
I guess the way they optimize their movements are just different, I guess.
Yes, that would be right.
That's interesting.
But
so
I still use some techniques gathered, I guess, from WKF in JKA tournaments, but not to the extent that some may see it as very different to JKA. So I'm still quite rooted in Kumite, but if we're thinking of speed, as well as combining closing the gap and making sure you strike at that moment, it could be quite useful in Kumite.
I see. If you liked the video up to this point, I do online group lessons as well. So if you would like to learn karate with me and give you guys personal feedback, then please consider subscribing to my group lesson as well. This is just a side talk. I've been seeing a lot of Taekwondo videos lately, and I noticed one style called ITF Taekwondo. They're very similar to our way of Kumite. But they're Taekwondo, so their kicks are, they're a lot very fast,
Very fast, very
crazy
strong.
moving.
Yeah.
Very strong. So in JKA Kumite, what kind of kicks do you guys use the most? Maybe if you have two choices or three.
It's interesting. I haven't seen nor have I used. Actually, maybe I have used it a few times, but normally I see Geri as a very strong high. But rarely do I see Geri. But I have used Geri on a few times in Kumite. It has worked, but I feel that Geri is a quite signature move in Kumite. If it were kicks, that is. But
I think leg?
Yes, with the back leg. But I also have seen front leg Geri, which is
That's
interesting.
Hard.
It's very difficult. But usually the back leg would be emphasized in JKA karate.
I see.
Other kicks, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure, but I know that in Kumite JK, there's a lot of on the upper body, a lot of gyakuzuki, kizamizuki. Hi.
I see. Like we're starting to see some kikomi in WKF tournaments with the front leg, just like a push. So I was thinking, since JKA focuses on very, lethal kicks, just piercing through the opponent,
you could say
kikomi
that, yes.
might be an option in the future. That was just my opinion.
It's nice you bring kikomi. I'd love to use front leg kikomi at one point. I'm not sure if you've seen Kanazawa Sensei using it on YouTube. I think he used it once on either Asai Sensei or Inoida Sensei, but I feel it could work to an extent, kikomi. But I'd love to use that. I haven't used it yet in Kumite, but I may try.
It's very useful. Like if the opponent, let's say the opponent is faster than you, and you don't want him to get close to you, just stick it in front of you, make a distance.
Going back to the distance.
It's very useful, I guess. And if you're just a split second late, you can still get your leg up and push the opponent back.
Right.
So
right.
It's very, very convenient.
That's true.
In that sense. Yes.
I'll have to agree. Yeah, that's true.
Oh, I see. So it's kizami, gyakuzuki, I guess 1-2, and then Geri. Do you do any combination with the Geri? Do you do the Geri first and then kizami, or 1-2 Geri, or how do you combine it?
For me personally, I haven't done a combination with Geri before, but I've seen it used when it is used, a kick, but usually the Geri would be done on its own as that ippon style. High.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, and the opponent goes like this, and then
that's right. So Geri is interesting, but there is a lot of combination with I guess with the gyakuzuki kizami, but usually it should be one finishing blow in JK karate. One blow.
That's why.
But I guess in the sense of combination, if you miss with the first punch, you would
follow. Right?
I hope you follow through. High.
I see. So that's the concept. Finishing with one move.
One move.
Oh, I guess 一撃必殺, which is the Japanese word saying 一撃 means one hit.
Right.
必殺 means one kill. So one hit, one kill.
One hit, one kill.
I see.
So essentially in JKA karate, in the mindset, it's life or death. It should be when you're as the mindset going into kumite.
Right.
You should really try not to make an option falling onto the ground or. But of course, in competition, it's understandable there are rules. But mindset-wise, it should always be a life and death situation.
I see. So you guys don't do counters that much? It's always attacks mainly? Like what's your strategic strategy behind your fight style?
I personally, and I know it's used a lot also, ayuch, same time, at the same
Ayuchi.
time,
Oh.
ayuch. So even I myself, I should be using more blocks and attack, but I find
Gono-sen.
myself, yeah, I always find myself ayuch and trying to beat the punch. So whether or not the punch actually strikes me or kick, I would hope that my technique going at the same time would also be a devastating, if not the devastating
Oh,
blow.
that's
Hi.
that's that's very different from our way of thinking.
Oh, right.
Because we tend to with the Ayuchi, do you do the Chudanzuki or you go for the Jodan too?
I personally do that. I personally
Don't
utilize
you
that.
get Oh wow, don't you get scared?
No, I like it.
Oh.
I really, but it is of course scary at the same time. But
Mhm.
I put all my faith into that one technique, and I just really hope that it would be the essentially the devastating blow. If not,
Wow.
then I should do maybe more
You
push-ups at
should
the end
do.
of the kumite. But I really I like ayuch. I enjoy ayuch a
Oh.
lot more than
Wow.
going for the attack.
Wow, that's very different. I would say a lot of people from other karate styles that's not JKA would wouldn't want to go for the IUchi because it's very risky in our
Very
sense.
risky, very risky. But yes, in JKA, many I've. It's interesting the story. It was always my dream to join JKA because I would
Mm.
watch that kind of dynamic in kumite, that kind of mentality, bam,
Pa!
and going for it. So I was really intrigued in JKA because of that.
I see. So I guess the mindset is totally, well, I wouldn't say different, but it's just the style is a little like apart from WKF, and especially the IOG concept was very interesting from my view. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Okay, okay. So it's for attacks, Kizami, 1, 2, Gekuzuki, and then for counters,
Gekuzuki,
Ayuchi or to the Chudan Ayuchi, and then with
yeah.
kicks it's Geri.
My Geri.
Mm.
It's from my Geri. I've seen it a few times, but I'm yet to try it in action.
Mm.
Maybe I can give it some thought too. Um,
Yeah, it's very useful. My another team member in our channel, his name is Natsu. He does a lot of Geri. He's very
my
tall, so
Geri.
his long legs.
Right.
So
That
he
will
just
work really well.
pierces it through. So whenever I go in, he kicks me. So
Yeah,
it's
right. As a
very
counter, right?
irritating. Yes,
Yeah.
it's very irritating, but yeah, very effective.
That would be yes, yeah, very effective indeed. Yeah.
Right, right, right. All right, so I guess this is it for the video today. Thank you, Gerard, for coming to the channel today. I hope
Thank you for
we
having me,
can.
Yusuke.
No problem. I hope we can cover more JK related style on my channel in the future. So if you can, please come onto my channel again.
It would be my
And
pleasure.
thank you so much. And for other videos, please check these out and make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next one.